Next on this evening's programme, the number of people applying for an affordable place to live in Bristol has increased by almost 1,500 in the last 6 months.
Well, ITV News has learned almost 11,500 are on the City Council's list for social housing. That's up by over a tenth in the last year.
Well, in a moment we'll be live in Bath assessing the steps other cities are taking to reduce homelessness. But first, Richard Payne has been finding out how Bristol is converting empty homes and offices into places for the homeless.
Okay, this is my new flat. So I moved to this like 3 months ago. This is my
Ahmed proudly shows off his new home, a ground floor flat in central Bristol. The 31-year-old from Sudan knows it's not much, but for someone who not long ago was homeless, it's as good as a palace.
Just for 2 years in this government, they did me something I don't get 29 years in my country. Yes, I say thank you.
You understand his gratitude more when you understand his story. One that's involved risking his life by travelling across the Sahara, boarding a boat from Libya to Italy, before reaching northern France and stowing away under a lorry to England. Yet he counts himself as one of the lucky ones.
I say lucky because some people was dead in the sea when we came. Yeah, when we came, some people was dead. And then I was lucky. I say my most lucky. Why? Because when I came Cali to enter in UK, some people are telling me a story. We was here in 2 years to try to go UK. Still we feel it, but just I stay for 1 day, and then I bus to UK.
Ashley Community Housing took in Ahmed and his wife, first in shared accommodation and now in one of 3 homes owned by the City Council, but leased to the charity at a peppercorn rent. Volunteers and tenants have helped make them habitable.
How many more people could you help if you had more housing stock?
Oh wow, I mean if we had more properties, obviously we would be able to help more, because our waiting list is absolutely, unimaginable. We got 60 people on our waiting list at any given time for the last 6 months, and we get at least 3-4 people on our doors every single day looking for accommodations, but unfortunately, we're turning them down. We're taking their names and details, but we're telling them we can't help them because of lack of accommodation.
This will be a bedroom, so one person will use this room here, and this is out of the 3 bedrooms in the property.
Once NHS treatment rooms are now short-term shelter for the homeless. 3 people will live here, with another 10 planned for a former school building next door. Again, both have been donated by the council for a charity to refurbish for the homeless.
These are people who find themselves homeless. They may be sleeping in cars, they may be sleeping in sheds, garages, etc. And they're people who are working or have just left work due to being homeless. I think they're the people who are finding issues with getting accommodation due to not having the money in the bank to do it. So our idea here is to give them an opportunity to come into a building.
No one's pretending this is the solution to Bristol's housing crisis, but a step in the right direction, with similar schemes across the city offering a further 20 spaces.
We're not going to solve homelessness in the short term because the problem's been building up for decades, and we're not going to turn that ship around quickly. But what we can promise the city, that as an administration, this is right at the top of our list of priorities. We are absolutely determined that no one who can accept help has to spend a night on the streets of Bristol.
Ahmed was one such person, but in the 2 years he's been here, he's learnt English, found work and passed his driving test. He has leave to remain in the UK for at least 5 years, but is looking further ahead than that.
I plan to do things here and then save money, and then we learn English, and then we go back to our family to help them.
One man who's left the streets, hoping, with the help of others, more will be able to do the same. Richard Payne, ITV News, Bristol.
Well, let's join Richard Payne, who's in Bath live for us this evening. So, Richard, what are they doing there to help find places to live for people who don't have a home?
Well, Carly, we've seen empty homes right across the region. How many of us have seen property that's been empty for months, even years, and wondered Why isn't that property converted into what is desperately needed accommodation? As you say, the problem isn't unique to Bristol. Here in Bath, they count something like 600 empty homes that have been empty for at least 6 months, right across Bath and North East Somerset. And you consider that there are 34 homeless people registered in Bath. The real figure could be, according to some experts, 3 times that figure. Then you get a sense of the problem. But it's not just Bath and North East Somerset. In Gloucester, there are something like almost 550 empty homes. 2,500, if you can believe it, right across the county of Gloucestershire. And that's a figure that's up 6% in the last 12 months. In North Somerset, the figure is something like 185 homes empty for more than 6 months. And they're bringing in extra powers down in North Somerset. One property in Whirl has been compulsorily purchased. So they're upping the ante. They're talking tough. They want new powers and to take strong action. It is something, though, I have to say, we've heard before. So you really want to ask the question tonight, is this the time when empty homes really are going to become a thing of the past?
OK, Richard, live in Bath. Thank you very much. Richard Payne there.